Hello, Gun Nation. Big Johnson coming at you. All right, we're going to get into it. If you follow me on the Gun Nation chat every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central, I was telling everybody I'm going to take some family members to the range. Well, I ended up taking, including myself, there were 6 of us. 3 of the people have never, ever shot a pistol or really even an AR. So what I took was some pistols I want to show you here. I did take an AR. I'm not going to show it because it's way too big, but we'll get into it. So I took them to the indoor range at Texas Gun Experience and kind of started low and went up high. And I want to tell you their results. Now, just so you know, if you know me, I'm very personal. I don't put family on camera, all of that stuff. I talked to them afterwards, kind of did a debriefing, but they didn't want to be on camera. And I thought it'd be weird to say, oh, I like that one, I like that, I'm going to give you the truth first to the last. So we'll get into it. So what we started with, took them in and they had earmuffs, glasses on, all that good stuff. And I wanted to take them to an indoor range so they could get used to the boom, 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 what scares the hell out of everybody. In the range when we got there, there really weren't anybody in the VIP section, but you could hear it from the other part of the range, and it was pretty loud. But, I could watch one of the females, kind of twinge a little bit. And of course, some of the males did too. Just to kind of give you an idea, on my direct side, it was myself, my wife, and my daughter. And on their side, it was a mother, a father, and their son. The mother and the father are in their mid-60s, low 60s. The son is, 27, 28. He has shot shotguns and rifles, but really no pistols or ARs. The mother and father, the mother had never shot a pistol or a rifle or a shotgun. The father had shot shotguns and rifles, but never a pistol. So what I did first is I started them out with the SIG P322. This one does have the Tandem Cross Steam Demon Comp. It does have the Tandem Cross flat trigger for the 322. This is their new flat trigger. And I let them run it. Each one of them, I would come up to the line and check their grip. And, all the grips were off except my daughter and my wife. Their grips are pretty good because I've worked with them, over the past. So they are not new to guns at all. But I had to work on the grips quite a bit. The booger hook, staying in the trigger guard, things like that. And of course, this does have the 507K on it and a TLR7A. Kind of wanted to give it a little weight, make it more like a training pistol or something similar, which would be self-defense that they could get, kind of familiar with. All of them, and even myself, I shot a couple just to kind of show them. Everybody shot the 322 great. Everybody loved the 22, as to be expected. So, and of course the dot, they were like, wow, that's neat. My daughter and my wife are pretty experienced or familiar. I don't want to say experienced, pretty familiar with dots. However, the other 3 were not. But the SIG P322 22LR pistol was a big hit. Everybody loved it. No recoil, fun to shoot. Then what I decided to do was step it up to a 9mm, but with iron sights, kind of old school, and prior to that, I showed them, hey, equal height, equal light. I did the whole, kind of showing the fingers, and I said, here's what you're looking for, blah, blah, blah. And, if you're new to guns, I kind of went through the whole spiel of what to expect for an iron sight gun and how to line everything up properly to make sure you're not too high, too low, too left, too right, all that good stuff. So, made sure their grip, a lot of them were trying to teacup it because they had seen it on TV, things like that. So we kind of were getting all that squared away. But the next one I went with, because I do own guns with just irons, we went with the FNS 9. This is one of my favorite guns, and a lot of people don't know this. This is the original Glock 19X, so to say. It's got the full-size grip with the 4-inch slide. So, and it does have the Apex trigger in it. I love the Apex trigger. And I'm not going to muzzle myself, but it does have the, oh gosh, what are these sights? They're the Mariglo Spartan sights. So it does have the big orange kind of in the front, night sights with the orange dot in the front, but it's not milled. So what did they think of it? Of course, it was more recoil. It took a lot to teach them how to line up the sights. It took a lot. One of them was shooting left, one of them was shooting right, one of them shooting too high, not hitting the ceiling. I made sure of that. I would stand behind them and I would actually reach over their shoulder and push the muzzle down if I thought that it was too high. I didn't want to damage any equipment. Held them for the recoil, just kind of had my hands back in case they bounced back because their stance was really, really bad because they're not used to it. But I wanted to kind of feel everything out. Now, here's the report from the iron sights. Out of six people, including me, nobody liked the iron sights. Nobody. Matter of fact, two, the adult, the dad, and the mother, they really couldn't even see them because of the poor eyesight that happens when you get older. Lining them up and, the unsureness. They were like, I'm just having a lot of difficulty lining that up. And we've got a big orange front sight here. But because they're, near and far vision and things like that, I kind of blur it out when I shoot irons. And I've shot irons for 1,000 years, but I've been shooting dots specifically and dominantly for about the past 4 or 5 years. Irons, I can still shoot them, but do I prefer irons? No. So the report on the irons was pretty much a no-go. Now remember, this is the FNS9, okay? So I wanted something similar. They all liked the feel of the pistol and everything, so I wanted something similar. This was kind of all planned out by myself. So I brought the 509. This was not a tactical, but I made it into a tactical. So I've got the dot, and this is the new, I'm testing it, the Gideon Omega. And I do have the comp on here. I have the Apex barrel. I have the Apex trigger for the FN. Got the extended mag, and all of these are unloaded and safety checked, so don't be alarmed there. And kind of had the battle worn, finish put on it. But what did they think of this one? They liked it a lot. They actually loved the dot itself. Now this particular one, and I did not know this about Gideon, I thought this one had all 3 reticles, but because you've got the dot, the circle, then the circle dot. However, with the Gideon Omega, this is only the EOTech type reticle. It's not just a plain dot. Now, when they sent this to me for testing, they didn't ask, and honestly, I assumed that it had all 3 reticles, so shame on me for assuming. That makes an ass out of you and me. However, I assumed it had all 3 reticles. So the EOTech type reticle in an SRO type clone is pretty busy for me. Now, is it shootable? Yes. Is it my preferred? No. I am not an EOTech type reticle person unless it's on an EOTech or a holographic sight. On a small window, honestly, it does take up quite a bit of space in there for a pistol. It's not like it's the whole size of it, but it's pretty damn big. So it's kind of busy to me. However, how are the results of this compared to this? Now, of course, this has the comp, it's got the threaded barrel, it's got all the goodies on it, where this one doesn't. However, with the dot, the groups went from way, way big to a lot smaller. They weren't like a silver dollar or anything, but they were a lot smaller. And I asked them, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of them, I was explaining, look through the glass at your target and let the dot or circle get in the way, but I know they were staring at the circle. However, were the groups better? Yes, instantly. So we're comparing a no dot with 3 people who have never shot pistols. They shot a no dot, regular irons for the first time, and instantly, not, oh, it took 500 rounds or anything, instantly they shot better with a dot. These are 3 people that have never shot pistols in their life. So there you go. So when people say, oh, I got to get used to a dot, there you go. There's an example right there. So how did they all function? They all functioned perfectly. I will say this. My daughter has pretty small hands that are very thin. So I had this loaded up, had everybody do the high grip and all of this. She did limp. Now, I was using plain Jane 115 grain. I think it was Blazer brass, 115 grain, all brass. And it was probably underpowered, but this one did stovepipe twice with her. And I was watching, and it was moving around quite a bit. So basically it was limp wristed, and it does have a comp. So I've never had a problem with this gun ever. And the other people who shot it did not have a problem with it. She did twice. Just because it's a little big, and her hands aren't that big. So this one, everybody liked it. So what I did after those three is I pulled out an AR, and I said, have y'all ever shot an AR? No. I said, have you ever heard an AR? They said, well, on TV, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, I'm not going to let you shoot it because it's kind of a pistol day, but I'm just going to pop some rounds through it real quick so you can hear it and, freak out. Now, the AR I took is a 16-inch. It's got a 193 mount on it, Razor 1 to 6, Razor HD scope. It does have a a Lantac Dragon muzzle device, so it's loud, but it's super flat. It's just basically for speed. It does have a CMMG trigger. So it's kind of a go fast, do work gun. But I basically popped a mag in it, racked it, and I just held it, and I was like, and I just popped off about 6 or 7 rounds really quickly. And like when I turned around, they were all smiling. They were like, wow, that's loud, or, wow. And that's what I was trying to do, is just get them to hear it, experience it. But prior to that, I said, just watch. It doesn't move. It's flat, all that good stuff, but it's loud. So I just wanted them to kind of hear it and just look at it and be like, okay, that's an AR. Also, I basically took out a 22 bullet from the 22 pistol in the mag. So it's a 22 LR and the 5.56. Well, they thought the whole bullet, or the whole casing, the whole entire cartridge fired out of the gun. And I said, no, it's just this little 55 grain tip, and here's this 40 grain tip, and that's actually your 22 diameter, etc., blah, blah, blah. Kind of gave them the scenario. So I said, this one's not loud, the 22 pistol. However, the 5.56, 223 is loud. And then I went over kind of velocities real quickly. I mean, these are complete newbies. I didn't wear it out, but I just kind of gave them some info so they would be aware of it. And after all of that one was done, I told them I had a special gun that I wanted them to shoot. The groups with this, all pretty decent. The groups with this, no dot, kind of all over the place. Other than my daughter and my wife, they did pretty decent. They actually did really good with the 22. They did fairly good with the no dot. My wife and daughter did pretty good with the dot compared to the others. But I told them, I want you to experience something different. This is an all steel pistol. It weighs a lot. There's no recoil, or a lot less recoil than some of the Tupperware Wonders. So this is going to help you with your recoil management. It's got a dot. It's got a light. Let's see how you do with it. It also has a super light trigger. This trigger is 2.5 pounds. And this, for me, is my most accurate gun. If I'm trying to shoot holes in holes, this gun will do it if I take my time. Y'all all know I'm not a hole-in-hole shooter. However, this gun is super, super accurate. Out of all my guns, as far as pistols, this is my most accurate. And what it was the Masterpiece Arms MPA DS9 hybrid with the SRO TLR9. So this is it. So it's a heavy gun. It's a heavy boy. Now, just so you know, this doesn't does not, let me grab a sip of water from my Lock Grips cup. This does not have the big funnel magwell. I still have it, but this is the carry magwell. Have I carried this gun? Yes. It's a beast. I have a holster to carry it in, and I have carried it, but it is a beast, and I carry appendix on all my guns. So it's a heavy boy. Does the 2.5 pound trigger scare me? No. I've carried 2.5 and lighter. It's got the safety, of course, manual safety if you're familiar with it. This is completely unloaded. I'm not pistol waving anybody. I'm the only one in the house other than the dogs, and they're on the ground. So I'm being safe. All right, this particular gun, it does have the super aggressive grip. So this is the advanced, more aggressive grip versus their standard grip. I wanted the more aggressive. I got it with the regular grip, but I didn't like it. So I got the more aggressive grip, and I love it. So I am an aggressive guy. Some people might not be. It does have a 2.5 pound trigger in it, super light. Well, I let all of them shoot it. My daughter was first. She shot incredible groups with this. Now it's 7 yards. She was like that big at 7 yards, maybe that big. My wife shot it. Probably about the same groups. I let the mother shoot it. It's got the dot. She shot really good groups. They were about that big, maybe bigger than a fist. I let their son shoot it. Also, their son is not a little guy. He is 6'6", has hands just like me, but longer and skinnier. He shot it. He shot really good groups with it. The dad, he shot it. He actually shot pretty good groups with it. I said, let me run it. And I was, they were kind of keeping like bang, 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 kind of that kind of pace. So I wanted to shoot it as well, kind of at that pace. Bang, 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 bang. So between the two targets, there's the white paper right there. I said, I'm just going to shoot it with one hole, and then I'm going to chase that hole. I literally did it with 5 shots. You could stick a thumb or even hell, a pinky over it. 5 shots, 7 yards. It was literally bullet in hole, hole in hole. That is how accurate this gun is. But it's heavy, so it's absorbing the recoil, things like that. I am not recoil sensitive to any of these, but with a heavy gun, it's going to absorb recoil. Everybody, they did not double tap it because the trigger was too light, because I told them, fire, take your finger off, fire, take your finger off. So it could reset. And that's what they did. Put it this way, all 6 of us absolutely loved this pistol. They were giddy because what I wanted to do was start them shooting all of these guns, have groups that are big and blah, 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 and all that stuff. But I figured if you're really wanting to kind of encourage people to keep it up, this could be the finisher. And it was the finisher. It was a finisher. So all of this is 100% true. There's people at Texas Gun Experience that witness all this. However, I did not want to put any of these people on camera because I respect their privacy, and I try to keep my family private as well. I hope y'all can appreciate that, but all of this is 100% true. So that's kind of where we are. So afterwards, we sat out in the VIP area, and I said, okay, what do you want to do now? And the dad said, I want to get an AR, I want to get a 9mm pistol, and I want to get a 22 instantly. So he was hooked. The son was like, oh yeah, I want some pistols. Matter of fact, my daughter, she has an M&P 10 or M&P 22 compact. It's one of my guns, but it does not have a dot. Well, now I've been instructed that she wants a 22 with a dot. So also I was going to go over with all of them. Now they all want 22s as well. But I was going to go over them with potentially getting a 5.7 because of the center fire reliability over the 22 LR. If you had a bad primer strike, they're not going to know how to rack it quick enough to get back in the fight if you're going to use a 22. So we're going to get them into 5.7. I personally don't own any 5.7s. I have in the past, but it's a much more reliable centerfire round versus a 22 LR rimfire round. I love 22 LR. It's fun as hell. You know, I can shoot it if I have a bad stovepipe, I can rack it, I can get right back into it, but they don't have all of that down yet. So now we can get them there, and we can try to run CCI and punch and all this other stuff. However, I've had failure with CCI and federal punch. Y'all have seen it on video. So shit can happen. But I'm sorry this video went long, but this is kind of for new shooters. You know, should you, learn irons first? Or should you go ahead and get a dot? In my opinion, don't waste your time on these. Get a dot. And of course you see these have suppressor sight irons. When I'm target focused, I don't even see the sights at all. I do not see them. But, if you're buying a gun that is not milled, you're going to have to get it milled if you want to advance to a dot, or just buy a dot gun right off the bat. If you want to shoot irons, then you can progress to a dot if you choose to. That's just my opinion. If you don't want, I'm an iron guy, then be an iron guy. Not a problem. I don't tell anybody what to shoot. I don't tell anybody what to own. Y'all are all grown-ups. I can only give my opinion. I've been shooting forever. Not a pro or any of that. Never claimed to be a trainer or any of that. I just wanted to get, these people on our side in the 2A community and have them purchase guns and things like that. And I feel I did a pretty successful job. So let me know your opinions below. Did I do something, should I have brought another gun in? Should I have started with this or that or this? Should I have all let them shoot the the AR-15? What's your opinion? I really want to know down below. So let me know. But sorry this video went a little long, but I had a lot of feedback saying, hey, let us know, shoot videos. And I told everybody on the chat, I am not shooting video because these are family members. I want to keep everything private. But everybody at Texas Gun Experience saw me doing it. Several of the trainers were there kind of watching, and it was fun for me. And now they all want to do it again. So my wife's like, I want to go back more and more and more. My daughters, I want to go back more and more and more. And just so you know, this is my future, I guess, wedding in-laws. My daughter's getting married, and this is her fiance and his family, mother and father. So anyway, that's where we are, and had a great time doing it, and we're going to be doing it a lot more. So let me know down below what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. A lot of people who watch my videos are not subscribed to my channel, and I would love it if you were. So thank you so much. Remember, an unarmed nation is a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. Take care, everyone.